Hello and welcome to the Blue Tweezers channel with myself, Alan, from the channel. And we got a chat session this evening, this Sunday. I thought I'd do a bit of a catch up with the Tweezerati. And glad to see you in the stream. Let's have a chat and mainly tell me what have you been playing since last time. Just going to send off some calls for reinforcements, if you don't mind, and get those on. But shout out in the chat. Let me know you can actually hear and see me. Again, I'm terrible with the gremlins here, as you probably came across at the Atlantic Chase stream with Ruff on Wednesday. We had a hell of a time with that, so please do let me know if you can all see and hear me. Right, so what have we got this evening? Well, of course, Patrick, good evening. You can hear me and you can see me. Well, let's hope it continues, shall we? Let's hope it continues. How you doing, Patrick? And yeah, what have you been playing? Let us know in the chat. Anybody else want to just let us know? It'd be interesting. See what you've been playing. If it's something I've played before, or maybe it hasn't, and maybe I'll chuck a few questions at you. But generally, Mike, Berticelli, hey, yes, GMT aficionados here. Good to see you, Mike. Nice to see you. I think I've sent you an email recently, and hopefully you got. Well, you sent me an email. I sent you a reply. Hopefully you got the reply. Charles, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. I hope the weekend's been good for you so far. Bit of gaming, if you may. James again. Hello. Afternoon from Southern Ontario. Lovely. Is it sunny? You didn't mention it, so probably not. Mike, brilliant. Okay, yeah, good to go. Hopefully, yeah, we'll have to. Hopefully, yeah, you got my Discord handle. So, yeah, a bit cryptic here with me and Mike. Just wait and see on the channel, and Mike will be doing a little bit for this channel as well. Fred, hey, and Brun, good evening, everybody. Wonderful, wonderful. Patrick, you had an annual Wargame con in Dublin yesterday. Excellent. Record turnout. So what was the record? What was the turnout? Are we touching three figures here, or what? Oh, it's partly sunny. Okay, good. Well, that's and getting warm. Yes. Well, it was very warm here this weekend, except kind of today they took the edge off it, I'm afraid. So we got sunshine, but temperature wasn't really quite there. So remember, let me know what you guys have been playing since I talked to you last, which was the March chat, which actually happened in April. And because it was getting ridiculous, I called this one the May one, so there isn't an April one, because it's about to not be May anymore. So I won't want to be falling even further behind on my actual dates. So we skipped April, gone straight to May, just so I can catch up with where I should be. Braun's got 12 degrees. Yeah, we were about that. 12, 13. Yes. Ideal gaming temperature. Yeah. You can open the windows if you need to. Get rid of any excess heat going on with all those deliberations, eh? 45 people. Excellent. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty core. That is. You'd get quite a few games going about that. Anything remarkable being played? Anything interesting being played? Let me know. Everybody know. Crossing, hey, hello. You didn't find a second-hand Atlantic Chase? Yeah, didn't think you would. It's rare as hen's teeth, really. And James is going through Pacific War. Well, good luck with that. And you'll be a long time playing that. It's great. Mike, you've been doing the Fields of Fire Bulge, the new expansion, which should be along fairly reasonably soon, I think. Isn't it? Core Space Firstborn. Don't know that one. Let me know what that's like. Lots of solo game for Brun. Target for today. Yeah, Raiders B29 Superford. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Hello, Jeff. Yeah, good to see you, Jeff. And right, you've taken take a look at Arracourt. We will actually take a look at Arracourt because I like to try and show off a sort of rather Heath Robinson unboxing of what I get new, which actually Arracourt is new since my last chat, so I will be showing it even though it's Punch and I've actually played it. So we played it at PunchCon. Good, excellent. Lots of stuff happening then, which is wonderful to hear. Normandy 44 on the table soon. Yes, one of the few 4Xs, I like to call them, 4X games I don't have. I don't have Ardennes, I don't have Normandy. I think I've got the rest, I think. Yes. Ukraine, Holland, they're all kind of behind me, kind of that way somewhere. Stalingrad, of course. Yes. So haven't actually played the Normandy one. I think I didn't get it because I think I had quite a few Normandy games, so I just thought, well, I'll give that one that one a miss. I think with the Ardennes was the same thing. However, subsequent to making that decision, of course, I got hold of a copy of Time for Trumpets and Last Blitzkrieg. So my decision making doesn't seem to be very consistent, really. Good. So what are we going to look at tonight? So just a little review of PunchCon. Just have a chat about PunchCon 2022 in Coventry. That was a couple of weeks ago. If I shrink myself down, I've got one of my vids. No, that's not me. Here we go. Let me just shrink myself down. There, so we've got. I'm just gonna play one of the. This is the middle video. This is the end of the second day. There's no sound or anything, but just go in the background just to see. You can see what we're playing. That's our Aerocore there that we were playing. Brendan, who was opposing me as the main American, and the learning American was Kenneth in the black, who was from Norway. Came all the way from Norway. A bunch of those guys came in. Played quite a few games, and Kenneth sat in with us. He was controlling the Americans down that side, which was a lot of infantry, which didn't really get that involved, and some cavalry groups as well, which one did, one didn't. The rest were being done by Brendan, and then on my side, I had a mate of mine from university, a guy called James. He was controlling the northern sector, which is to the right, and I was the southern sector as well. But as you can see, massive hall. Well, for wargaming in the UK standards, never seen anything like it. Beyond the sort of the big board game or the miniatures conventions, which tend to be a fair size in the UK. As you can see, there was a lot there, a lot being played. It was a really good time. Hotel was, it was okay. It was okay, but the gameplay was the main thing, and it was a real thing to experience. Really, really enjoyed that. Great to be around other people after the lockdown, etc. But I mean, really, I hadn't actually been to something this size before. Anyway, that's not true. Something a similar size, I did actually attend in Australia, but we're talking about 30 years ago now. So that was a long time. That was in Sydney. There was a Wargaming con there, which was similar size, I would have said. That was the shop from Second Chance Games there, which was on display, and I did get a couple of games there, and I'll be showing those to you later on in the chat. That's the big Third World War. That was the whole thing on a table being played the whole weekend, and as I remember it, the Soviets broke through in northern Germany and Denmark, In the south, there wasn't much going on. They did eventually break into Italy through Yugoslavia, and also the Turks were having a hell of a time around Istanbul. They were just about, I think, when it finished, it was just about to fall. God knows what's happening in the Persian Gulf. I think the Soviets came in on the side of the Iranians, but I think the Americans then made a late appearance to push them back. But yeah, and up in the north, kind of your normal thing. I suppose the Soviets kind of get through a bit, but yeah, there wasn't too much happening there. So I don't suppose any of you actually made it to PunchCon. In the chat, if you did, let me know. Talking about the Irish con here, it never snows. ASL, Cuba Libre, Distant Plain, Fire Note. So loads and loads of coin there. Mare Nostrum, here I stand. Yeah, at one point in PunchCon, there were 3 games of Here I Stand going on right next to each other. There was a big long line. I think I mentioned it in one of the videos, so have a look on that. Twilight Imperium. Oh, okay. Conquest and Consequences. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, that's right. This is one of the smaller World War II game, isn't it? I think. Very good. Yeah, as Brun says, nice list indeed. It was just the one day, or was there? Was it a few days? Jeff says Britain's on a kind of time delay with regards to board war games. It's reversed when it comes to miniatures. Yeah, miniatures are huge in this country. Much bigger than board war games. Absolutely. Kind of a time delay. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of been just bumbling along, really. I mean, I've been playing board war games. Gosh, 40 years, something like that. But yeah, there hasn't been a huge amount of collective work, I think, in this country. But I think it's getting better, and leads on to where I'm going next as well. Yeah, it was just a great weekend. I think we're definitely going back next year. The organisers, and well done to James Buckley of Cardboard Emperors and Phalanx Games, who was the main driver behind it, along with the guys at Second Chance Games at all, who are always great and sending me out games in exchange for money. So yeah, wonderful time had by all. Yeah, looking forward to next year. I'll definitely be going back myself. Charles has got Normandy 44 on the table as well. Good. You got diversions from Normandy. Oh my god, what could those be? Mike says I'd try and come to the States. Absolutely. Arizona is a long way away, isn't it? Gosh, that's a long way away. Yes. Yes, only so much holiday available from the old work, and prices and things like that. Would like to actually come along to Consim World, or to I don't know what the others, GMT at the warehouse. There's the Compass one, which it's East Coast, which is probably a bit easier stuff. But yeah, would be good to do that. In the plans, but bit of a never thing. But maybe I'll get there. Jeff was talking about, you're talking about Arracourt, the handling of the cavalry group in the rules. Can you expand on that? I'll go through the Arracourt stuff and how it worked. Main thing I thought about Arracourt was that be careful of where the reinforcements appear, because that kind of threw a spanner in the works. Equal opportunity gamer. Oh well done there. Oh, get my ugly mug out of everybody's face now. Everybody's eyes. Right, what's next? We got so this is where I am next weekend. So I'm going somewhere else next weekend. This is UK Games Expo in the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, England. It's a board game expo, not a war game expo. I don't suspect there'll be very much in the way of war games there, but if anybody's going, then I'll see you there. I'll be sporting my old t-shirt, and yeah, having a chat. What I was thinking of doing there really is that there's been a lot of chat about getting younger people into board wargaming as opposed to just board gaming, and so I was thinking it was some kind of a recruitment drive, nothing like, you know, officious, or, you know, I'm not going to turn into a press ganger or something like that, but certainly I think you're setting up a couple of games, simpler games, things that are slightly Euro-y, maybe coin, maybe other things like 303 Squadron, which is just above my, right at the top, up there, right there is, that's it there. God, I can't do this going backwards and left to right. That's 303 Squadron up there, which I played a little bit at PunchCon. It's actually really a good game. It finally clicked with me. I was having a bit of trouble with the game, sort of understanding how the cards and the dice work together in the combat. But once it clicked, it was like, oh yeah, this is great. It's quite fast playing, quite fun, co-op game, not face to face, so solo or co-op. And yeah, I think I'll take that along. I'm going to also take Versailles 1919 along as well, because that's kind of crossover as well. I'll try and involve people in that political game, of course. Don't know other than that. Maybe Churchill, maybe Pericles. Not sure. Something of those ilk I'll take over there to see if I can tempt anybody. I'm going to be going with my daughter anyway. So. And she's not a wargamer, although she has dabbled a little bit, but generally quite a reasonably avid board gamer, Euro kind of thing. Favourite game, I think, is Power Grid, I think. So I may be doing more board gaming than wargaming, but I think I'll try and put my best foot forward on the wargaming side, and see if I can get any recruits, anything like that. That would be great. So that's Expo, UK Games Expo 2022 in Birmingham next week. So I'll be a bit on the quiet front there around that time. So what did I get as new games over the recent period? Well, let's see. I'm going to expand my camera up again if I can get the technology right. Let's put that back up, and yeah, I'm just back there. So what did we get? Well, let's start at the beginning. The first one that came through, and we've just been talking about it, was Arracourt here. Nice little glare off the, yeah, there we go. Multi-man publishing, gamers, Battalion combat system, series, sorry, ooh, hush my mouth. And yeah, the typical BCS fare. We've got the standard version 2 charts, and everything's on the version 2 now since Panzer's Last Stand. Charts and tables are all standard, nothing particularly different about that. We've got our version 2 rules. We have the version 2 support book, which has got all the sort of trying to talk you into how things work and why things work the way they do, with a few things like a few flowcharts and stuff which are quite useful, and tables which are quite useful during the game. There we go again, some more. So the support book's quite nice to have. Yet another chart, of course, same one. And then we have the actual Arracourt battle book, or supplementary or exclusive rules. So that's that kind of thing. The thing about this book is the exclusive rules are that long. So it's 1, 2 and a bit pages with big pictures in. Arracourt's very, very vanilla with the series. There's not a lot that's special. Probably the biggest thing that's special is the old Bazooka Charlie, which is a special air point the Americans can get, which actually was a guy in an observation, little observation artillery observer plane, a little prop thing, and he attached some bazookas to the wings and took on some German tanks reasonably successfully, I believe, as well. So that's an addition. But generally, you're straight out of just your standard series rules. So it's pretty much, it's built from the ground up as a starting point for the series to get into. And with Ken and James, who didn't know the system before we played at PunchCon, it really worked quite well, I think. I think they got it, they understood it, they were getting into it. I think it really worked. So just as support book was a big help in understanding a system. Yeah, it can seem daunting. It's not complicated, it's just very, very, very different. But I think it's interesting. Mike says, ever played the Burning Blue? No, I haven't. I've come close to purchasing it a couple of times, but never ever got round to it. I ended up in the Downtown series, really. Lisa Victory, Red Storm, that kind of thing. And then also quite a few other games. Wing Leader, got all the Wing Leader stuff as well. So never got into the Burning Blue, no. What's on my table now? So, well, it's over there, over my shoulder, and we'll be getting to that in a while. So as usual, I try and do my switching camera thing, which generally fails. Something ends up a problem. I usually injure myself, but yeah, got to keep going. Show must go on. Show must go on. Here is the map of Arracourt, and that's it. Just the one map. And also, as far as terrain goes, not much that's except for the woods and the roads and the rivers. So not much then. There's not really much to write home about on it. It's not that difficult. What you do have, and hopefully I've got it the right way around, and I think I have. So the big thing about the game is the victory initiatives are really, really simple. So what it is, you get 4 victory points. One for that hex there. I hope you can see that. One for that hex there, which is Aerocore, and one for right at the top. There's a hex of Chateau Salins up there somewhere. 1 victory point for each, and 1 victory point for the side that causes the most tank step losses, or tank unit losses, actually. You get 1 victory point for that. That's it. There's nothing else complicated about the victory conditions. So what you have is these 2 rivers. There's a river and a canal kind of crossing the board sort of east to west, and it kind of channels things, particularly this canal where there's a north and a south. That one's not so bad, but this one definitely does chop the map up, and that's why we had the 4 people playing. We could easily segment it, even though it's not a very big game. Easily segment it. I'm not folding this back very well. There, that'll do. That's good. So now, one thing I can't do is show you the counter sheet because I punched and clipped everything. So I can show you all the bags. This is the turn track with there is the weather chart. There's the replacement charts and the terrain key. Not much to it. That's all the turns. We were trying to play the whole thing. We didn't really get there. We started quite late on the Friday, the first day. But we did get to 22nd, which was the end of the first scenario. And it ended up as an honourable draw. So what happened was the Germans were doing really well, actually. I think we were doing very well. We captured the bottom VP. We were threatening the middle one, and we just lost the top one. And we were causing tank step losses. But what happened was there was a French armoured brigade which essentially pops in from the south, pretty much behind German lines. And we hadn't prepared for it, and it was cutting off our supply, so we had to make a bit of a retreat to do that, which kind of stuffed things up in the last turn. But anyway, here we have, if I'll show you anyway, I've got here with the all the baggies with, and what you will note here is that the counters are bigger than your normal BCS. They're actually nice, friendly, big ones. I don't know if it's coming through very well on the camera, but yeah, nice for the fat fingers, nice for the old fingers. It was a good idea. I also printed out these little HQ tidies, which MMP allow you. They can download from their website these things, and I really like to use them. If you look at the videos I did, you should be able to see them on the map as we're playing them at PunchCon. But anyway, that's Arracourt. I pretty much, I mean, strongly recommended if you want to get into BCS. BCS is a big system, but if you really want to get into it, here's the place to start. Absolutely, very good. What have we got now? And this I've been waiting a long time for. And this is Race for Bastogne GTS from Multiman Publishing as well. So I ordered this, I think from Second Chance, pre-ordered it. Gosh, 2 years ago? Yeah, probably about 2 years ago. No, maybe a year ago. Yeah, somewhere between 1 and 2 years ago. Memory fades. And yeah, because I wanted to get the extra new GTS. It's a bowl game, I know. So there we go. Last Blitzkrieg. Time of Trumpets. Now Race for Bastogne. Yeah, of course I'm not going to get Ardennes 44. Anyway, this is what we got. Nice, big, thick. Is it 3-inch box? I think they call it. And on the back, lots of good stuff there. And they even have the solitaire suitability high for GTS, which is great. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Now I haven't touched this, I haven't punched this, I haven't done anything. So, so this is straight out, just the shrink wrap off. We get our 4 dice here, there. Blue and green, and then 2 whites. D10s, and then we have. Oh, by the way, Arracourt had 2 counter sheets. Yes, yeah, I think it was 2. So of course this is fighting around Bastogne, 1944. Was it the 101st Airborne against 2nd Panzer, 130th Panzer, 26th Volksgrenadiers. So these are the Germans, of course, and they're colour coded by division. You like big counters, and you cannot lie. Yes, nothing like a big chit. Okay. That's and so this chat suddenly gets into dark areas, doesn't it? Oh dear. Jeff was saying that the armoured unit victory conditions was interesting. You gain more by reviving a Panzer IV unit that was destroyed instead of bulking up your Panzer V unit still on the board. Yes, that's true. Yes, you do. The only problem with the Germans was that they don't get a lot of their replacement table is pretty rubbish in comparison to the Americans. So the Americans, things, armoured steps can fly off the board, and I wouldn't say it's not a problem, but it's much easier to get through than the other thing though with the Panzer IV unit bulking up is it's just it's a lot more effective than your Panzer IVs, especially at bullying things like cavalry groups, which I managed to do. Jane's saying if it's a good entry game to the system, must be a must buy for someone that already has all the other games in the system. Yeah, well, I did. So I can't say no. I can't say no, don't get it. It's not. Yeah, no. Well, it's just that it's smaller. It's smaller, easy to play. Not so many special rules. Why not? I mean, if you're gonna invest in BCS and have got all the ones. I've bought all the originals up to this point, then why wouldn't you get Aerocore? I suppose would be more than rather than why would you or why wouldn't you? I think keep the set going. It's a good game. Here we've got some American paratroopers here, and also some elements of who we got here. Oh, there's a Red Ball Express. There's the 110th Regiment, the 28th Division, which are the guys who got the bulk of the problems, because it does actually start with the whole race. So right from the start of the Battle of the Bulge into Bastogne. So there are 2 maps. Here's one of them. But they go end on end, as in it's almost like a sort of long, thin map. Again, I'm going to fold it out badly, and you're not going to be able to see most of it really in the detail, but you know, lots of woods and lots of open ground really. This is the Bastogne map. But no, I mean, I do like the artwork on it. If I kind of zoom in a little bit, you can see maybe a bit better on the artwork there, that it's very precise. There are the roads and trails are interesting, little kind of, yeah, different colours on that. Can't tell you what it is. I haven't looked at it close enough to find that. Standard chart table for GTS. Of course, you've got the unarmoured and the armoured sides, and all the colour codes for all the different type of weapons that the units have. One of the little thank you markers, little sheets that come with it. We have exclusive rules here, colour ones of course. This includes the scenarios, so the so we go up to page 16 for the exclusive rules. Then we have optional rules, and then we start the scenario. Optional rules are a further, where we're going from page 17 to page 19, so 2 more pages of optional rules here. Interesting, the scenarios are done out in a sort of colour, so I don't think the previous ones did that. There's a sort of colour coding to it, which looks nice. You'll see here as well. Yeah, so this is actually the whole map. If I hold it out there, there is a little inset map around Wilts, which there is a scenario which just uses that little map, but that's the whole map there. As you can see, it's long and thin. Lots more counter sheets, so half American, half German here. So what have we got on the American side? We got Combat Command B of can't remember, Combat Command B of the 10th Armoured, and Combat Command Reserve Combat Command of 9th Armoured here as well. It's the blue and the reds there, and we have here, this is I think 2nd Panzer, looks like 2nd Panzer and Kampfer Group somebody, Koken. Yeah, the 2nd Panzer is cut up into these Kampfer groups actually. They're all part of 2nd Panzer Division, yeah. And just in the corner there's some Panzer Lehr Division stuff as well coming in. We have the terrain effects chart on here, so movement, and so that's kind of a standard. Those are the standard ones, and actually no, these are the standard ones, and then this is all about the different roads. Yeah, pretty critical. Here's the second map. I won't get it out because I'll probably dislocate something, so do forgive me. More counters. Don't know how many here it is. Is that 4 or 5 at the moment? This is 130th Panzer Lehr, all the way across here, and then we're into the informational counters. These are the little maps. So there's a little map for the Wilts scenario, which is just off the edge of the map, and then this is actually part of the main map, but they've provided a little. I do like the way GTS does that they put in their little inset maps. Very good on things like the Greatest Day, where the beaches are done as little as little maps. How we go? Simo, good to see you. And Cole, hey Cole. Carl, you owe me an email. Yeah. Send us an email on your ideas, and let's see what we can get together. Sima, how have you been? See the Finns win the Ice Hockey World Championships. Oh, nice, very nice. Bit of a hockey fan myself, actually. I'm a Maple Leafs fan. Picked it up when I was briefly living in Canada. So, yeah. And if you know Leafs fans, they're long suffering, and I do suffer. But anyway, I mean, it's nothing compared to what's happened over here, where I'm a Burnley FC fan, and they've just got relegated from the Premier League of football. Well, geez, never mind. Well, they stayed out for 6 years, and it is quite a small club. It's only a small town, so they've done really well for the 6 years. But yeah, we failed by a couple of goals. Really, that was it. We could have won it, but could have stayed in, but we didn't. Never mind, eh? But well done, Finland, anyway. So it sounds like a few of you watched it as well. Still got Greatest Day on the Shelf of Shame. Yeah. I haven't played a lot of it myself. If you know GTS, then stacks can be a problem. On those beach landing scenarios, they can be a real problem. It's almost like you're playing multiple versions of Jenga at the same time, and it's tricky. I'm sure the inland scenarios are better. Actually, I did briefly play some of the airborne, 6th Airborne scenario. That's a lot better. That's easier to get on with. It's low counter density, as far as I could tell. There's not too much going on as far as big stacks, so that's probably a good starting point there if you want to look into it. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's quite daunting. There's lots of stuff in there, indeed. But yeah, try and get into it if you can. Jeff says, "Don't have to spend a lot of money on playoff tickets. If you're a Leeds fan, yes, indeed, yeah, indeed. Well, I was unlikely to actually see them in person these days, but yeah, sure." Bryn, your team went out in the playoffs for promotion. Well, yeah. Sacking Dyche, yeah, that was Burnley again, sacking the manager. We'll be back. Don't know it. The financial situation is a bit dodgy. It used to be brilliant, and then suddenly the club was sold, and it turned into a financial nightmare. So, yeah. Good. Yes. Anyway, standard version 2 rules. Sorry, carry on here. Getting a little bit distracted there. Lots of information counters, suppressed markers, cohesion hit markers, step loss markers, loads of markers in GTS. You just have to get used to it. Another terrain card. More markers, improved positions. And of course, some of these are, particularly the cohesion hit markers and the improved positions and the entrenchments on the back, they're all color coded for which side. So you've got double the goodness. And then we've got, of course, these are the tracks for the different divisions, for dispatch points and command points. Do like the system, but God, does it use up a lot of space. 101st Airborne here as well. Having trouble with this one. Here we go. 28th Infantry Division and a 101st there as well. We have an off-map display, which feels like it should be bigger, but it isn't. That's all it is. And weather charts. It's just the date and weather chart. Blue piece of paper. More information counters. Hey, these are barrage counters and German improved positions. Then we have the rule summary, a bit like the support book for BCS. The rule summary, I find this really good, especially these flowcharts, because you can practically live on them. Or I seem to be. How many counter sheets are there? How many counter sheets are there? There are 8 counter sheets, 5/8 inch counters. So 8 counter sheets. So a lot bigger than Aerocore. And finally, yes, another CRT. That's it. Empty box. Got there in the end. There's quite a lot of stuff here. So How are we doing? How big is this one compared to the other GTS? So, it's much smaller than Greatest Day. It's a lot smaller than that. This is two. As I say, it's two maps, but they're end on. They're sort of side by side rather than the usual, the usual landscape connection. So I've got the other GTS I've got is a No Question of Surrender, which is smaller than this. So that's a good starting point. That's the French in North Africa. Although I'm sure people don't really mention it much in the family of GTS. And I haven't got the early stuff, all the Market Garden stuff at all. That's my extent of GTS, which is why I really wanted to get another one. Oh, I've got Operation Mercury as well. That's true. Missed that, but yeah. Operation Mercury as well, which is kind of like several games in one. I mean, if you're playing a campaign game, there's like 3 different theatres across Crete, so very good multiplayer, I think. I managed to do that though. I was trying to get that going with one of the cancelled cons during lockdown, one that didn't happen. I was going to try and do that, but that's Race for Bastogne. So, and if you haven't got it and you want looking at the GTS, then well, it's probably easily a good start. Mike says he really likes Wing Leader. I do as well, mainly because of the artwork. Actually, well, the game's very good as well, but the artwork, that side by side. You used to get those those books when you were a kid, which had all the aeroplanes, aircraft of World War II, and had all the side. And all the the camouflage and different colours and stuff of all the marks of all the different aircraft. It's kind of like that. It's like a game version of that, and I think it's really good. Yeah. Loads of scenarios to play. It's almost like an air squad leader, really, isn't it? It's got loads and loads of stuff going on. I think I have the full set. Yes, I've got all the expansions as well. So it's all over here. I'll pull that. It's the back, I'm afraid, but that's the back of Victories there, and I can't put it in because one of the expansions is preventing me. But anyway, you probably couldn't see that actually, but yeah, Supremacy and Victories is there. Origins, Blitz, Eagles. I think that's it, isn't it? Right, next one, Operation Theseus from Vuca Simulation. So this is kind of a rehashing of an old game, as I understand it, Triumphant Fox. The Gazala battles, I think, from North Africa. Just like the look of it, and a lot of people have been playing across the Bug River, which was their Russian one, and of course the old Arkan game was republished. And I just thought this is the new one, so let's go with the new one. So it's really, really good quality game quality here. Punched already because you don't need to clip. They're all pre-rounded. Lovely. The counters are great. So I can't really show you those very much because they're all in bags. We've got 2D10. We have mounted maps. And boy, are they mounted. Really hefty quality maps here. I'm going to fold this out, and now this really is going to give me a hernia. Whoa, okay. It's like doing yoga with cardboard, this. And I've got it all upside down. I've got it out, but I've got it all upside down. So let's try and flip it over. Hopefully it's the right way up for everybody. Yes, I think it will be. So this is the map. It's one map, long, thin. Don't know how many inches. I'll have a look for you. And it's mostly North Africa with Tobruk in it. Tracks down the sides for the 2 sides, the British and the German Arracourt. Very pretty. I say very. If I just close it down a little so that we're missing the centre panels, even that isn't working. Oh dear. I'm gonna get bruising here in the morning. So yeah, you can get a lovely feel to the map. Nicely done. The counters are those is it linen finish on them as well, so really nicely nicely produced, and all the tracks which would normally be on other cards, you can actually just put it on use them on the map, which is a nice idea. Quite a few scenarios I think here as well. You can play, and so I didn't say about Race for Bastogne. I think there's quite a few scenarios there to play, about 10 I think. This is the rulebook, glossy, full colour glossy. Number of pages comes up to 30. Oh no, designer's notes, which is blocking just into the rules. Combat sequence example, scenarios. So they're all on the end. So actually, it looks like the rules go up to 25 pages. So not terrible. No, not terrible. 3 scenarios. 3 scenarios to play. Good index as well. Nice. Always nice to see a good index on a rule book. So it's yeah, very good. Nice artwork on here as well. Then we have, if you don't use the tracks on the map board, you've got these, which are very, very solid player aids here to go next to the map. So that's the activation chart here for each of the formations. Operational level, this of course, is you activate a number of times, and the number of action points you roll each time that formation activates. And as you get more and more into the turn, an activation will give you less and less action points, so you kind of slow down. That's for use with the player aid. Just a ready reckoner on the I'll find it, the combat results table. Here it is. So yeah, that's the combat results table, and this is just there so you can work out which terrain type gives you the different odds levels here, and this you can move across so you can follow which column you actually really want to do. So it's a nice little cute thing there. Terrain key, of course, here. Again, these are all really solid. Solid card, a very solid card. I mean, it's pretty much a counter sheet width there, I'd say. Combat sequence, loads of other little charts and tables there as well. This gives you the sequence of play, number of action points. As I said, every time you activate, you're on this chart, and it starts to get less and less effective on the number of actions you can use to activate your units. Some more small charts as well there as well. Now the scenarios are done out in scenario cards again, really thick. So that's the German side, that's the British side. So the only thing I would say is that you probably want to set both of them up together, and they're on either side of the card, which is kind of unfortunate. Not a showstopper, a bit difficult. And again here we've got more of these player aid cards, or yeah, cards. It's kind of understatement, cards, but there we get. So if you get a go at that, there's 3 in the series. So there's the Arracourt Crossing the Line, which was the original game from the start of the series ages ago, with another game company. Was it Avalanche? I'm trying to remember. And then there is trying to remember the other ones. Vuca River, of course, which came out, was it last year? I think it was 1941 on the Soviet border. Barbarossa, a little section of Barbarossa, and this is Theseus, which is the let's say the Gazala battles. And there we go. It does say solitaire suitability is an 8. It probably is, because it's kind of chip pulley kind of activation, different formations activate, etc. Right, that's our new stuff done. How are we going for time? Of 50 minutes. Wow. Okay, and you guys are still here and not asleep. Wow, you must be on serious amounts of caffeine. Meanwhile, I'm on the alcohol here, so I'm still going with me my cognac. Let me know if anybody's having a bit of a tipple as well. Just take a quick swig before cracking on. How are we in the chat going here? So, where are we? I'll pop back a little bit to see where we are. Carl, say about about Wing Leader. We're talking lots about Wing Leader now, so not too heavy. No, that's right. And one thing is the scenarios don't actually take that long, because you don't have to shoot down the other player completely. All you have to do is just to break their squadron and they bugger off the board, and that's it really. So it's not usually that amount. Every time I played it, there haven't been that many turns. 4 or 5, maybe 6, something like that. I did a live stream, not a live stream, a recording of, I think it was Operation Meridian, which is the British in the Pacific. Probably more than a year ago now, 18 months ago I think now, and on the channel, and that didn't go that much, 7 or 8 turns, but there wasn't that much to it. There's not a lot of counters actually in a scenario. The ones that really take a long time are the campaign scenarios. There's a Rabal one, there's a Malta one, and there's a Stalingrad one, which is multiple turns, multiple scenarios. Sort of you put it in here to sort of buy your own planes kind of thing, stick it together under a set of rules. So that those take a while, but actually the scenarios I don't think take too long. Although I've never tried one of the big ones. There are a few big ones, not a lot of them, but there are quite a few big ones. So yes, that's Wing Leader there. So, sports games, yeah, shootout hockey is the American football. I never played it. I watched it and saw all these sort of cards with statistics on, and you just turn around and play something else. So I think there was Status Pro Football. I think it was Status Pro Baseball. I think there was one. Old Avalon Hill ones. This is a very long time ago, but I just remember there's lots and lots of cards with statistics on, and never really went there. I've heard that Across the Boog involves a lot of die rolling. Yeah, probably. I haven't played the Theseus yet. I haven't played any of the system yet. I do remember the Arkham one, but I never bought it when it originally came out, way back. The box art's lovely indeed. That's right. You're thinking of getting the Boog River? Well, there was a live playthrough done by Big Board Gaming, I think. So have a look at that, see what you think of it. And also, I think Rough Swordsman Wargame did some stuff on it as well. So look at those if it takes your fancy. If you haven't already, obviously you probably. Jeff's just got Crossing Line Arkan. Okay. I wasn't sure whether to get that or Theseus. Well, yeah, I didn't know. I just thought, well, that's the new one. Get the new one. That's why I ended up with Theseus, really. Patrick's off to get a whiskey. Cheers. Wonderful. Irish whiskey, said Brom. Well, it's got an E in it, so therefore it must be an Irish whiskey. If it was Scottish, then it wouldn't have an E. So just a little bit of a tip there. Jameson's lovely. Yes. I've played a little bit of that. Yeah, Ruff did a playthrough to Cole. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, same to you, Patrick. I'm not going to try and pronounce that in Gaelic, I'm afraid. Not after one cognac, certainly. I'm not going to try that. After about 3 or 4, I might try it, and it'll go terribly wrong. Yes, you're right, Gareth. Yeah, he did, and I think there was a virtual face to face. Kev at the big board did with, I think it was Mo from Mo's Gaming Table. I think they played a turn or so, I think, before it got a bit too fraught, I think. Took a long time. Right, what's next on our list? Keep things going, keep it going. So, there is a fourth game, which I picked it up at PunchCon, which is where I got Theseus, so I bought it at the same time, but I'll show you a little bit because it actually happens to be just over there, and we will see it laid out instead of getting the box out and breaking everything. So we'll come back to that. So what have I been playing? Well, hopefully you've had a quick look at Malta Besieged I went through the last few weeks. 7 videos in all, I think. Pretty tense. Always thought I was going to lose. And I won't spoil the ending for you. No spoilers here. I always thought I was going to lose. I think it's quite a good game. States of Siege. It's actually just there. You'll see the Maltese cross just off of my shoulder there. Yeah, nice little game. Again, I'm not a huge fan of States of Siege. I've only got one other, which was the Mission, and did a load of videos for that. One thing I do find with them, they're very easy to turn into a video playthrough, which is good. Fred's got his office back, hey, and OSG's Library of Napoleon Battles. Well, yeah, yeah. Wait for it. Brun, you saw it, yeah. Thanks for having a look. Glad you enjoyed Malta Besieged. I think it's quite a good game, and you can rattle through it fairly quickly. I think it's that kind of game. Once you're in the groove, it works quite well. So what else did I do? Well, of course, Arracourt at the PunchCon 2022. Coventry, I already talked about it. So just letting you know how we did in that game. So we were the Germans, the Southern Germans, attacked very well with a Panzer Brigade in the south. Very, very well. It punched a hole all the way across the map. So from east to west. It was threatened on the side. It had 21st Panzer Division guarding its flank across the river against newly arrived, I think it was 35th Division, US 35th Infantry Division, which was very big, much bigger than all the other formations there. In the north, there was just one Panzer Brigade there with 15 Panzer Grenadier in the kind of middle helping. Yeah, we couldn't really get to Aerocore. It was too small. But the American formations are quite small as well because they're split up into combat commands. It's only the couple of infantry divisions in the game which come on as reinforcements are really sort of big chunky things on the American side. But we were doing well. But because my Panzer Brigade had gone practically across the map from the south map edge, the French Armoured Brigade. Part of the French 2nd Armoured Division, I think it is, came on and just kind of swept behind the Panzer Brigade and the 21st Panzer, cutting them off. So that was the last turn, and it ended up a little bit strange. So we called it an honourable draw because of that. Should have looked at the reinforcement schedule, didn't, and it was just too late. So do watch out for that, because there are formations for each side that actually come on from the sides, and if you're doing too well, they'll end up behind you. So yeah, tip there for Arracourt. Okay. Other than that, we've got my vassal games which go on, which aren't really anything to do with the channel, but it would be they're interesting just to catch up on. I'm just going to switch my. I'm going to shrink myself again. And let's just close this down. And first up to talk to you about is our game of Pericles here. I am, of course, if you've been on the previous chats, I'm the Europontids, Spartan on the Spartan side. There's two on each side. We're doing very badly. It's not going well. I did very badly this turn. I ended up, I think, with 3 issues settled. We fought each other over the assembly and ended up several issues actually didn't go anywhere. They stayed neutral, in which case those issues turn into theatre markers where you get to actually do something on the map. And so we're way down from the other side, who were a little bit more, I don't know. You don't know that the other person is going to come up with exactly the same card number as yourself. The cards are over here. If we look on the side here, so if you put your cards down and you turn them over, if they come up with the same number, then the marker in the middle doesn't move. And if the marker stays in the middle, it doesn't become an issue. It gets ignored. So we really suffered that. I've only got 4 I think I've got 4 markers to place. 2 of those are dummies, and I think I've got one left. I think 2 left. Yeah, I've got 2 left to place, and that's it. Whereas the others have quite a lot. So it's not going well here. We're in 3rd and 4th place. This is the honour roll down here. So purple and blue ahead, which are the Athenians, just behind the blues, and my other Spartan is bringing up the rear. Yeah, not very good at all. So it's going quite badly now. Going quite badly. So from Pericles, Karen, we're in the 2nd turn theatre phase. If it's relevant, so we've only been going 2 turns and it's already dire. What do we got next? We got Gallipoli 1915, which again has been going on for quite a while. We're into almost the first night. We're getting into, this is the twilight turn, so this is the turn before night time. Visibility is reduced to 1 hex. I've been very conservative with the Australians here. I'm playing the Anzacs here. Anzac Cove is here, and I sort of built a sort of bulwark here of my brigades of the 1st Australian Division. So 2nd Brigade up the top here, 1st Brigade down here, 3rd Brigade is underneath 1st Brigade. They were the guys who did the landing and got fairly chewed up, so they're not in a very good state, but they're kind of working together. Just consolidated here the New Zealanders, the New Zealand Brigade of the New Zealand and Australia Division. So they've landed here. We're missing a what is it? A regiment here, a battalion here. We're missing a battalion here. We've got the Aucklanders, we've got the Wellington battalion, and we've got the Canterbury battalion. We haven't got the Otago battalion, that hasn't landed yet. I've just given it orders, and it succeeded to just fill in the line over here. So they're doing an attack in this direction. We have a problem here because this is a regiment of Ottomans up here who have basically just gone all the way round up over the ridge. The orange is height, so the green is low terrain, orange and brown is the highest terrain, and this is all the sort of Anzac area, horrible area of Chinook Bay. So we're mostly facing off against each other. They have a regiment here, and they've got Kamal's regiment here. But they haven't attacked. They've just kind of lined up and then sort of sat there. So I've kind of sat there as well because I don't think I have the strength to get very much further. It's very easy to bog your units down in attacking. So I was much more interested in getting reinforcements in and making sure that the line wasn't pressed all the way back. Whereas down, of course, at Hellas, it's all kinds of trouble here. Very bad stuff going on. So we've got the peripheral beaches here, which are playing merry hell. But these are the important ones here. This is W Beach and V Beach. V Beach hasn't got off the beach. They have finally got the beach. It took them most of the day to get that, and they're on the beach, but that's all. W Beach here, we have 1 hex in addition to the beach. So you can see things have not been going well for the British down there. Much better for the Anzacs, but are we getting anywhere? I'm not sure we are really, but that's Gallipoli for you. So that's our Gallipoli playthrough. I haven't got this time Stellar Horizons to show you. That's because we had 1 player drop out, then we got another player in, and then another player dropped out. So we're down. We were 4 player. We're now 3. We decided to wait to see if anybody wants to join in. There's a bit of a call out. Anybody enjoy a good game of Stellar Horizons? There's a good Japanese side. We're into the 2060s now. So what is it? 25 turns in, something like that. So if you fancy having a go, then let me know, and we're on Discord playing on Vassal, and you can join in if you like. So, but I say we haven't got anybody for the 4th player yet. I don't think we want to go to 3. I'm not really happy to go down to 3. It's a possible 6-7 player game, and getting down to 3 really is sort of scraping the barrel. It's a nice multiplayer, but yeah. Anyway, let me know. in that case. But what I've got here is a new game I'm playing with an opponent here, which is GBACW Into the Woods from GMT. Look at that, hey? Pretty new game. And this is scenario 2, Sound the Long Roll. I'm the Union, and my God, it's depressing. Wow, it's not much of a scenario for you. This is where we are. This is just one activation into turn 2. There's only 2 turns in the game. And just going to compare it with, this is the setup of the game. Just a turn ago. And as you can see, there's so many more Confederates than there is the Union. One really difficult thing is that in this scenario there's a special morale check. They call it UDDs in the game. Special morale check for the Union is if you retreat pretty much for any reason, you may automatically rout. That's possible for everybody in certain circumstances. But literally for this one, if you retreat under fire or shock, then you have to make a morale check. And if you do, you rout. And if you rout, you actually just come off the board. So looking at my order of battle sheet here, and zoom in. There we go. How do I get? No, it's fixed. So. There we go. So you can see we have got four regiments have already, and I think I only have 7 in the whole game. So I'm very likely to lose here. He just has to pretty much blow me off the board, and he's very, very well on the way to do that. Find it pretty difficult to know what the hell to do as the Union, but it's a tough scenario. That probably very good solo scenario, but that's what we're doing there. So this is actually at the start of the Battle of Shiloh, so it's the first encounter when the rebels come piling out of the woods at the unprepared Union. You're not completely unprepared, but you're not in a great shape, and yeah, it's vastly outnumbered here. We have effectively 2 brigades for the Union and 4 for the Confederates, and their big brigades as well. So it's really not a fair fight. Victory conditions are, tough for the Confederates. I've caused enough losses to win the game if I don't lose the game, but I'm likely to lose the game probably in two different ways. Still, but that's Into the Woods I'm playing at the moment. And where are we after that? We are nowhere after that. Let me just go back to up on the UK Games Expo screen. That's just the map of one of the halls. There's 3 halls. 2 of them are for stands and 1 is for gaming. Richard, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Right, what have we got next? Well, all I've got left really after this, as if this isn't enough for you, really. So let me expand myself again. That sounds vaguely rude, but let's do that. There we go, and I'm back. There we go. Yes. Yes, of course. That's what I was going to do. Now, we're going to do our little normal technical innovative thing. We're going to try and switch across to our table there and see what we're playing. Now, this will take me a minute, so just hang on, go make a cup of tea, have a drink, have another whiskey, whatever. I will, certainly. Let me just set this up, and hopefully it will come through. So, let's just... Hopefully this will work. Did last time, of sorts. And so I need to Just run the app. Okay, and I've got the wrong camera. Yes, it's coming through, but okay, let's put that out of the way. Say okay there. Oh, it's not showing. Why isn't it showing? Should be coming up. Bear with me. There we go. So yeah, got the wrong. It's the wrong way around. Let's fix that. Hopefully this works. Like I said that already. Yes. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Let's just expand this and see what we're playing here. So it's a bit wonky. Here. Just see if I can adjust the camera angle. There we go. There we go. So this is, let me get the box so we can show you. It is the Library of Napoleon Battles. This is OSGs. This is 4 battles lost. So this is the 4 battles of Grossbeeren, Katzbach, Kulm and Dennewitz, and by Kevin Vuca. This is the Katzbach. Randomly determined what I was going to start with. This is the first playthrough of this. You may have seen that I did a partial playthrough with Jordan McMullen of the Battle of Borodino, of the same series. Didn't get through it, and I stated that I wasn't really a fan of it, and I'm still not sure, but I thought I'd give it a good go. Saw this as available at Second Chance stand at PunchCon. I thought, okay, let's go with it. It's 4 battles. The particular thing about the 4 battles is there's no Napoleon. So this is the Trachtenberg plan by the Allies in 1813 of fight the French where Napoleon isn't. And this was one of them. So these are lost battles. So of course the French lost each of these. What we've got here is the French coming on here, crossing this river, which is a bit of a problem when there's possible thunderstorms, which makes it impassable and washes the bridge out. There's the Russians here, Prussians here with some extra Russians coming up to meet them. So it's a meeting engagement, and this river here is a sort of important point here. There's some victory point markers here for these two, and then up here as well. That's the big place, 5 points for that area. So that's where they're heading for, and of course this is Blucher's group here, and Blucher's a lot better than MacDonald, which is the marshal that actually is in charge of the French here. But it's only, we're on to turn 2 of the coalition turn, so 1 move by the coalition, 2 by the French, and the French do have some reinforcements, the coalition don't. But it's kind of going to be see who gets to this area first and then gets to hold it, I think. Down here it's a bit of a stalemate here, I think, but we'll see what happens down here as well. Both difficult for these guys to actually activate because they're nowhere near their commanders, MacDonald and Blucher here. So yeah, that's the Battle of Katzbach, which is the name of that river. Which I say the French actually lost, and that's yeah. I mean, there's 4 battles here. I've punched and clicked all the counters, as you can see in the little pill box there. What comes with it? It's OSG is a kind of one-man band, so the rule book it's got colour in it, etc., but it has that sort of feel of, you know, being printed out flat and then folded and stapled kind of thing. There are a few other. You've got, of course, all the maps, the 4 different maps for the different different battles. They're all about this size, so it's not none of it's huge. We have lots of charts and tables which tell you about the setups, also how to use the cards with this system. But of course, I haven't actually got the cards. The cards don't actually come with this game. You have to buy them separately. I thought if I'm playing it solo, it's no real point in having the cards. Just keep playing. That's my idea. And yeah, that's it. And we have probably the gem of the whole game, which is the study folder. So this goes through the, well, it takes you through the scenarios, but then it talks actually about the situation, historical notes, about the leaders involved in and the 4 different campaigns, what went on, and the conclusion, etc. So that's pretty valuable stuff as well if you're into the history of the whole thing. So that was 4 Lost Battles OSG, and that was my 4th purchase. So glad I remember that before I forgot about it. There we go, and I'm back. Good. How's the chat going? Because I can't really see the chat from when I'm over there on that table. So let's have a quick look. Oh my God, it's OSG. He says, Stigler, here's Stigler. He's going to complain about something I've done. Likes the maps, brilliant. Okay, so into OSG, wonderful. Well, Stigler, you just missed some Into the Woods stuff on your vassal, on your vassal module there. Shall I quickly bring it back, just for Stigler's delectation. It's scenario 2 of Into the Woods. See if I can just shrink myself back again, just so you can see it. No, that's not. This is me. There we go. Yeah, so there you go, Stigo. That's Stigler's actual vassal module. I've got the updated one, the version 1.1, I think it is. We're using now. Well, thanks very much for the vassal module. Very, very much appreciated. So yes, Brun's never played Napoleon at Hero Games. Okay, well, you know, there's a lot of them out there, and yeah, it's decent fun. You need to kind of get into the history, really, but yeah, a lot of the games are very much sort of cardboard versions of the miniatures. To be honest, miniatures are huge in Napoleonics, but yeah, it's. Stigler says, "What, me complain?" Excuse me. Yeah, it is getting some play these days. Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, I saw this scenario being played at PunchCon, and this scenario too. And as I went past, I said to the union player, "Like, you go and get yourself a drink, mate. You'll need a drink after a turn or so of this." So he looked at me. Oh, really? Yes. So it's not a happy scenario for the union, indeed. Yes, self-appointed duty. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Thanks for that. Good. Let's bring myself back again to. Come on. Can't seem to get me camera back. Where's my camera? There we go. Let's pull myself back. Okay, what I've got left. So, well, what am I anticipating? So very, very shortly, I should be getting a double pack from Flying Big Games. So I've got my copy of The Long Road coming, which, if you followed a playthrough that I did with designer Mark Walker, looks like great fun. If you don't know about it, it's basically Warsaw Pact versus NATO, 1980s West Germany, with added vampires, zombies, and werewolves. Yeah, enough said. But it was fun to play. I think it's a good system. It plays very quickly. Quite a lot to it. Pretty nice, I think. So I'm gonna enjoy that when it comes. And the other one, of course, is this Fearful Sacrifice, which is the Herman Luttman Gettysburg whole Gettysburg battle game thing with the Rick Barber maps, which I'm going to when I get them, I'm going to compare them to my Summer Storm maps, which is Rick Barber maps from, I don't know, 20 years ago. Very similar design, etc. Probably updated quite significantly, but it'd be interesting to put them side by side and look at that. But yes, this Fearful Sacrifice Gettysburg with a modified blind sword system, as far as I understand it. So yes, Fred saying OSG is a smaller style game, Battle of Theme. Yes, yeah, that's one thing. Those games are not cheap because it's one-man band. It's sort of self-produced. They are quite expensive. That was over £100 for the 4 battles. So if you compare, I got Theseus, and you saw that amount of cardboard that's in that. Theseus was about £55, so half the price of that one over there. But yeah. Stigler's looking at the thing. Yeah, Shaves Brigade got itself surrounded. Yeah, well, it's just like a gallop, really. We're talking down here with the Reds. Oh, you can't see it anymore. So yeah, the guys that were at the bottom of the map, the Confederates, just kind of intermingled because it's just run for the Union and make them retreat and disappear. You don't have to be particularly clever with the Confederates, as far as I can see. But anyway, and the last thing I'm waiting for, again in a reasonable period of time, should be here for next chat, whenever that is, but should be one in June, will be Red Storm Baltic Approaches. So this is the expansion for Red Storm. The Red Storm stuff, yeah, I like the series. I like the Downtown series. Did the playthrough with Rough Swordsman Wargamer. If you want to catch up on that, went through that. It was a bit tough on Rough, that one, as the Soviets with the Belgian F-16s did massive damage, along with the American F-4s as well, to the Soviet forces. But Baltic Approaches brings in the Navy, brings in Danish, North German stuff going on. Different map. It's the map of Skagerrak, is it? I can't remember. Interesting, that map actually. It's a very, very busy map, unlike the Red Storm one. So I'm not sure what's going with that, but when I get it, I'll see. But that should be. I think they were starting to ship. Or they're starting to. No, I think they're starting to ship next week from GMT. So it's on the P500. So I'll get it in about 3 years' time, I think. One thing I must say actually is getting shipping from America is that everything seems to be getting to everywhere else in the globe before Europe. I don't know what's going on there, but we were definitely last to get the MMP stuff from Arracourt and Race for Bastogne. Everybody else was zinging out pictures on Twitter saying, "Oh look, this one's arrived," and I'm sitting there, where the hell? And likewise for these ones, even though they're sent out early, I think Europe sent out early than the rest of the globe, and certainly before the US, but we still seem to get them last. So it's shame that, but never mind. Right, last look at the chat then, because I've kept you for 1.5 hours on a Sunday, and I'm sure there's a lot more that you guys should be doing rather than just listening to me prattle on. So there's a good series on YouTube on Quatre Bras. On what system? Is that the OSG system, or yeah, probably must do. Okay. Intermingling is the order of the day at Shiloh. Yes. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're going to have to sort themselves out, but for this scenario, it's literally kick a football and run for the Confederate side. Thanks for the agreements, Stigler. That's great. Good. Well, I think that's all. Stigler says prattling is good. Okay. You've got a holiday tomorrow. We've actually got a holiday. We've got 2 holidays this week, a Thursday and Friday. It's we normally have so Monday coming, so tomorrow would have been a bank holiday, but what they've done is they delayed it till Thursday, and then Friday is a special holiday for the Queen's Jubilee here. So we have a 4-day weekend, and for 3 of those days I'm going to be in Birmingham. So I'm going to miss all the Queenie stuff, I'm afraid. All the celebrations and tea parties and things. I'm going to be doing some gaming instead. But the other half will be involved with all that stuff, which is nice. So yeah, we got a 4-day weekend to look forward to. Short working week, which is very nice. Good, right. I'll leave it there because you've got better things to do. I hope you have a very good rest of Sunday, or if Sunday's practically over for you, new week, and of course Memorial Day. I think is it tomorrow with for the US. So yeah, hope that's a good one as well, and hopefully the weather will continue getting better and better. That's the idea. I'm not sure it really works, certainly in this country. Good, and I will see you on the next chat. Next thing on the channel will be with Ruff and I, with a special guest, doing the continuing playthrough of Atlantic Chase. That's a corker of a game, so don't miss it. And that'll be on the Wednesday, and then you never know, might get some updates from UK Games Expo on the channel next weekend, if I can get around to it and we get the signal good enough for my phone and all that kind of stuff and all the technical things, and then maybe I'll see you then. But until then, thanks very much for the chat. Thanks very much for all the interesting stuff that you guys have been playing and stuff. It's all good to see, all good to hear, and hopefully giving you a little bit of an insight into gaming Chez Bleu, and we'll see you on the channel hopefully very, very soon. Until then, goodbye for now. Bye.